In spring and on schedule, Locklan's build gets underway. And it's a warm day in the deep south, a balmy 5 degrees. What's happening today?
The concrete trucks just turned up to do the final pour on this particular wing for the foundations. So a very exciting day. More concrete.
You're lovely. Concrete, come on, let's go and have a look. What is it about this stuff that excites you?
It's the colour, it's the strength. Oh, this house will be here for bloody hundreds of years. Some poxy old wooden house.
It's been 6 years since Locklan and his city architect Rich Naish designed his home. Now it's up to the country lads to simply follow the plans to build an amazing modernist home.
G'day, Kevin. How you doing?
Hey, guys.
But Locklan and Kevin have already been making changes.
There's a lot of materials that the architect has specified, which a lot of it we don't get down here really, and so we've got freight issues down from Auckland.
What sorts of things have you changed?
The insulation is one of them. That's been a big one.
I expected a few pragmatic tweaks, but looking at the site, I suspect there's been a more dramatic change to the house plans. What am I looking at?
Well, right in front of you there, that's the garage. The next part is the laundry, next part is the spare bedroom, and the far end is my bedroom with the ensuite. Over there is the dining, kitchen, living area wing, and then in between the two, obviously, is the big front door and all that kind of entrance way.
Right. But that's just 2 wings. What happened to the other 2 wings?
No, they got the coal. Kevin worked out how much it was going to cost, and I go, wow, that ain't happening.
You're not building half the house.
Well, it does look like half the house, but that's fine.
But the wing that we've lost had the extra bedrooms. Wasn't that where the kids were going?
Well, that's right. I've yet to breed, of course, and, it takes a wee while to get them out, so I could always come back and do those 2 wings.
Locklan won't tell me what his budget is, but if he's slashing this much at the start of the build, I dread to think what else might get the chop along the way. So you've gone from 4 wings to 2. That fundamentally changes the house. I mean, it's going to have a big aesthetic impact as much as anything.
No, I don't think so, Chris. I think you get a wee bit dramatic about it all.
On a remote Southland farm, 2 mates have started to build an architectural home, but farmer Locklan and dairy shed builder Kevin have been meddling with the architect's plans. To save money, they've decided not to build 2 wings of the house.
Here you go, mate. Here's some mate.
Beautiful.
Very alkaline, very good for you.
Locklan's cagey about the budget, but there have clearly been changes since he got plans first drafted 6 years ago.
So what's blown out since then? What's changed?
No, well, nothing's actually blown out at all. It's just everything, as we all know, all prices just keep on creeping up. So, 4 years back to now, everything's gone up, I don't know, 15, 20%, I guess.
Yeah.
So, that's just in general costs. And I've got to be very mindful of how much I do spend in that this is a house on a farm. It's not a house in like Queenstown or Wanaka, parts of the North Island, where if things turn bad, you could at least sell the house. Well, if things turn bad here, I'd be selling the farm.
So what is the budget, Locklan?
Well, the budget will be, I might tell you at the end of it all. It's just the way I roll, and down south we don't generally talk about money, so I'll give you little clues near the end. But it's a pretty big budget, to be fair.
I'm wondering how architect Rich Naish feels about what Locklan and Kevin have done to the house design. In Auckland, Locklan's meeting with Rich and his colleague Natalie Stebbing.
How many years has this been on the go, Rich?
Well, I think it must be about 6 or so.
Oh, okay.
What's the job number?
Starts with an 09.
09. Well, we always knew it was going to be a slow burn.
Well, that's true. There's no rushing these things. Well, back in the day, if we remember when we finally decided on the design, that we could possibly, I may not do the 2-bedroom wing.
Yeah.
So I've come to the decision that this time, I'd love to have done the whole thing all at once, but to give it justice with the 2 wings, I thought, no, best do these 2 wings, and then the 2-bedroom wing can be done separate.
Well, we always designed it that way. three pavilions
Yeah.
in a sense, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that, you know, if you just do those first two, it still stands as a really nicely balanced house.
Locklan hired Rich Naish after falling in love with Ironbank, an industrial modernist tower he designed in Auckland's inner city, and decided that he was the man to bring modernism to rural Southland.
Yeah, it's not your average looking farmhouse. But again, I think it is what it is because of those unique aspects that make up any architectural project, which are the client, the landscape and the architect. Those three things, you bring them together, you get a unique result.
Well, on paper you do, but now it's all in the delivery. Locklan's is a unique home in a remote area, so its construction involves materials and build techniques that the locals aren't familiar with.
Right from the word go, we've understood this is going to be built by Kevin. So you know, we've been careful not to sort of over detail it in a way that would, you know, just add unnecessary complexity. It's essentially a fairly simple house, although I'm sure the precast and Kevin would probably be arguing with that right now.
Rich is right. 1,500 kilometres away in Southland, the precast concrete panels are causing some headaches. The Balclutha company doing the work has made plenty of precast panels for dairy sheds. Locklan's are tall and thin and require what Locklan is calling strata lines, decorative grooves or striations that echo the rock formations around his farm.
They're relatively simple to set out, but by the time you get 40 different panels all need to line up around the house, that will be the...
That'd be crucial.
That'd be crucial.
Yeah. So what about the thickness of the panels? Given the size, they're quite thin, aren't they?
Very, very thin. By the time we take the thickness of the rebates out of it, we're down to 115 millimetres for a 4 metre high panel.
Right on the limit.
Right on the limit. For us to roll that up off the deck after it's been poured and cured is the reasonably high risk of cracking.
Panels this thin are not unusual for homes in Auckland, but in Southland they tend to build bigger and tougher.
So do you ever curse the architect because of all these extra fiddly things that you're being asked to do to what is effectively quite a delicate, in a way, quite a delicate membrane?
Oh, on a daily basis. I mean, we have to do what the architect tells us to do, but it'd be much easier if they were just 150 thick or 200 thick. They wouldn't break, wouldn't crack, make life a whole lot easier. But
It's not your average cow shed, is it?
no, it's not your average cow shed.
These panels are fussy, fiddly, and already starting to fall behind schedule. The concrete company is under the pump.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure to perform here. I think we've got about 35 panels to do, and we probably have about 6 to 8 weeks to achieve that.